Good morning, Sly. And would you forgive me if I were to say, introduce myself as Karen May Coralie Hill Simon Hurst?
What? No, no. See, the problem gonna even get worse. Let's go again. Karen May Hill. No, no,
Coralie
no.
Hill
Karen
Simon.
May Coralie Hill
Carolika.
Simon Hurst.
Yes.
All
Well,
right.
he's trying to seep himself in there, but we have a blockade.
Sly, the jury's in. She has
I
covered
believe that I
everyone.
would win in a situation like this.
You know what you call that? The consummate diplomat.
Oh my goodness! But I have the upper hand. I have the upper hand, and I won't. I won't hit a man when he's down right now, so I won't use that terminology on him. But your responsibility, my dear, the responsibility that is in your hands, along with your entire team, with this CHOGM coming to Antigua in November. We want to hear about it, boss lady. What you got for Miguel this morning? What
Well,
you want to know?
well, first I just wanna, because we've always been saying shogum, 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 but that really means it's the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, which will be in Antigua from November 1st, Independence Day, to the 4th, under the theme Accelerating Partnerships and Investments for a Prosperous Commonwealth. And I just want, Madam Commissioner, if you could just give us a quick overview for those who just may be under a rock and are not familiar with what Shogam is
What is with Shogun
and what it
business be?
means for us.
Why? What is have to do with Antigua other than the fact that people have one place to go and have them? What else? We get from that,
Oh,
so to
yes.
speak.
Good question. And Sly, I just wanted to begin by expressing condolences again to Ambassador Hurst and his family. I think his sister is a national icon, isn't she?
Oh
She's
yes.
touched
Yes,
all of
yes,
our lives
definitely, definitely.
in big ways and in small ways. And I will particularly miss her. Peter, she's probably a bigger fan of the orchestra than you.
Oh, okay.
I see it to Mary Claire every time. And I suspect you're correct.
Anyhow, let's answer the question. Sly, we just had elections in Antigua, and I believe most of the public who voted would have recalled that the government invited Commonwealth observers to come to Antigua as part of the elections. As a matter of fact, I don't think we have elections in Antigua without inviting the OAS, CARICOM, and Commonwealth observers. So for the average Antiguan, I think that is a reference point that they would appreciate and understand that the Commonwealth is involved in ensuring free and fair elections across the family of nations that make up the Commonwealth. Another thing I believe many Antiguans would be and Barbadians be familiar with is the Commonwealth Games, another Commonwealth brand that the world knows. And I had the privilege a few months ago to meet with Maurice Hope, the boxer Sly J,
Oh,
Oh
who,
yeah.
okay.
as you
An
recall, he,
icon.
he he won the medal at the Commonwealth Games for boxing, I believe,
Yes.
Yes.
and of Antiguan and Barbuda by birth. Although
Yes.
he, I think,
Yes.
he's one of us, and
Yes.
and
An
he and,
icon.
and one of our proud champions in the sporting arena. So the Commonwealth as well, for those who are history buffs, thinking back to those dark days of apartheid, it was actually the Commonwealth that played a big part in breaking through those divisions in South Africa that were separating the majority blacks from enjoying the good of the land that is theirs. So the Commonwealth, in environmental matters, climate change, one of the biggest voices of small states in pushing the 1.5-degree agenda is the Commonwealth. And this is who we are: 2.7 billion of the world's population across 56 countries, representing one third of the world's population. 6% of this 2.7 billion are under the age, slightly younger than you, they're under the age of 30.
Okay.
And this is who the Commonwealth is. And we are a member of it. We're one of 56 member states of the Commonwealth, spanning 5 regions. We have the Americas and the Caribbean, which includes Canada and all of our CARICOM countries for the most part. We have Europe, which includes the UK, Malta, Cyprus. We have Asia, which takes in places like Bangladesh and Pakistan and India. We've got Africa, which is everything from Seychelles to Ghana to Cameroon to Nigeria to South Africa, Zambia, Namibia. We have the Pacific region, which takes in Australia, New Zealand, and all those islands like ours, like Samoa and Fiji and the Solomon Islands, to Tuvalu, Nauru. That's the Commonwealth family, and we're all united by a single thing: that we share values that support the rule of law, good governance, democracy. That's our Commonwealth family in a nutshell.
Excellent.
Okay.
And so, are we anticipating that for CHOGM in Antigua, we'll be having representatives from all of these countries or most?
So CHOGM takes place once every 2 years, and it's the Caribbean's turn to host CHOGM. And our Prime Minister, John Gaston Brown, recognized this, and he very cleverly and craftily put his hat in very early to say that Antigua and Barbuda would be minded to host CHOGM when it's our turn. And in true Caribbean fashion, we support each other. And the other islands, San Antigua was first mover in this, will support Antigua and Barbuda. So every 2 years, it takes place, and it's a Caribbean turn, as I just shared. The last one is in 2024 in Samoa in the Pacific. And it brings together the heads of government. These are all the prime ministers and presidents of the 56 member states. It brings together the foreign ministers of the 56 member states. So just think about that. We're talking about heads, we're talking about foreign ministers, each having a robust and full program of meetings and engagements over this period of time to feed into a common agenda. Alongside those two big sort of centerpieces, we have 4 forums. A business forum will have around 600 CEOs, business leaders, entrepreneurs on the ground. That's the business forum. There's a women's forum, again, around 350 women leaders from across the Commonwealth. We'll have a youth forum, around 400 youth activists from across the Commonwealth. And we'll have a people's forum, another 400 persons from across the Commonwealth engaged in these 4 official forums. So we have heads, we have foreign ministers, we have 4 forums, and we also have some side events. And this year, the Commonwealth has taken a decision not to have lots and lots of side events. We're going to have 4 large side events. One on the oceans, which is important to us, the blue economy. A second one is going to champion the Commonwealth Games as an important tool for unity and fitness and all that sort of thing. A third one will look at parliamentary democracy across the Commonwealth. And the fourth one will launch an important initiative called the Global Summit on Eye Health. And so those 4 side events will also attract their own audiences alongside people who are already here, heads, foreign ministers, and so on, in those side events. So I want us to understand how incredibly large this is going to be. And there's another element I want to layer on top of that for your audiences, Petra and Sly. Because we are still what you call a realm, we're going to have a state visit. And so in addition to all of that, there will be an official state visit alongside CHOGM as part of our celebrations and our meetings for CHOGM in November 2026.
So, with all of those meetings and persons that you've outlined, I'm thinking that one of the largest impact for us, apart from just the prestige of hosting this meeting, will be that we will be full to capacity in terms of our hotels, accommodations, everybody. Are we anticipating that?
We are anticipating in excess of 5,000 persons. And I say to people, when, and I know people like to say we pull numbers out of the hat, but we actually don't, because 56 member states from the larger countries, we already have delegations registered, a single delegation, just a country delegation of over 250 persons in a single delegation.
Wow.
And we have to do that for 56 countries, plus all of the other things that are happening. So you can see that the numbers are going to be significant. And that means, Peter, you're right, that all of our hotels, and they've come on board in a major way to support CHOGM and the government's vision around having conferences and events. All of our Airbnbs, and on that note, we're encouraging all our Airbnbs to get registered on the CHOGM portal so we can have all those rooms available. All our taxi drivers, even our farmers, the Ministry of Agriculture has created a plan so they can have more pumpkins and sweet potatoes, everything ready for reaping in time for CHOGM, so we can
feed everybody.
Precisely. Ministry of Works has already requested the route for all of the major events so that they can prioritize ensuring that the roads, the internet, everything is infrastructure is in place for all of that to happen. And I'll just share one more thing. Our CHOGM envoy is none other than the great Sir Vivian Richards, one of Antigua's most recognized sons. And he has been making a hit. Do you know what the single most played and watched sport in the Commonwealth is?
Cricket.
Anybody?
Cricket, that's easy. Cricket.
India alone. Exactly. And so we hit a winner there, I believe, when being able to showcase Sir Viv Richards, and of course our 4 nights, our Cricket Heritage. And on that note, People will say that meetings and so on can be a little bit sterile, and they can be. So for the Antiguan public, you want to let people know there'll be 2 cricket matches, and Cricket West Indies is leading the way in a special CHOGM cricket extravaganza. We're going to have 2 matches. Now get ready for this, Sly and Petra. We're going to have a T5 match, 5-over match, heads of the Commonwealth Caribbean versus the rest of the Commonwealth. So
We're winning that. Let's go.
We have got to bat and
Get
bowl.
ready, Mr. Green.
We are winning
Mr.
that.
Green. Get ready, Mr. Green.
Well, he said heads, so that seems that's a PM.
Oh, well-
Heads and foreign ministers.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you see, we're in better space.
Okay.
And then we'll have a second match, which will be a T10, a 10-over fixture, with an under 23 rising stars of the Commonwealth Caribbean versus the rest of the Commonwealth. And the whole idea of the matches are to use the vehicle of cricket, the most widely watched and played sport across the Commonwealth, to promote messages about how cricket can promote unity, peace, goodwill, how sports itself, sports as an entity, sports in general,
As a unifying
can actually
force.
help people to unify, precisely,
Yes.
unifying. And by the way, sports and music are perhaps the 2 greatest unifying forces in the world.
I just want to, I like where this is heading, but I just want to step back because you spoke of the numbers. And again, our skepticism in terms of the numbers of persons who we are expecting. Do you have any idea of how well we did for SIDS in terms of the numbers? So persons can understand that this is really a very serious opportunity for us that we're building on.
As far as I'm aware, SIDS had a similar sort of number
Right.
of guests on the island. CHOGM could have more, but we're
excess,
aiming
right.
for that. We're
So
aiming
I
for
just
that
want
based
to
on the
remind-
capacity.
Yeah, I made that connection before we move on because I want to remind us all of the security protocols we underwent as a nation, of how hospitable we were, of the numbers that we had on island then, and that this is a call for us, I suspect, I could be wrong, to be even more involved and engaged because this is yet another level as we continue to build out our conference tourism opportunities.
No, absolutely, and SIDS really laid the foundation for something remarkable, and it proved to the world that we could do it. And we cannot give enough commendations to Prime Minister Brown, Minister Green, Ambassador Webson for laying down that sort of marker of possibilities for Antigua and Barbuda. And then after that, we had the OAS General Assembly held here. There was also the European Parliamentary meetings, and the tourism brought in marketplace, and they're doing it again. I think this very week they will have the
Yes,
tourism
we
marketplace.
just about to
for the
begin.
second time. Yeah, so we have seen that we can do this. So let me give you an example. Okay, we have 56 member states in the Commonwealth. We're one of 56. We had something called advanced visits, which are
yes.
visits where delegations from member states come to the country, particularly their defense attaches, just to confirm that the arrangements in place meet the standards and the requirements for the safe participation of their principals. We had 26 countries come across the two visits. One was in April, the 27th and 28th. The second one was just last week, the 5th and 6th of May. I remember speaking to my colleague from Fiji, who was here, and another island nation. I said to my colleague, how do you like Antigua? How did you find it? He said, like Antigua? I love Antigua.
Wow.
And I think that's what we want to hear, and you kind of see things through the eyes of people. We criticize a lot at home sometimes. And by the way, don't get me wrong, sometimes we do need to hold our leaders, everybody to account and push the bar higher every time. But to see our country through the eyes of our guests, that was for me almost like a Damascus Road moment where you realize how special we are, how blessed we are. And we just need to ensure that the things that we have, we don't take for granted. We keep pushing the mark higher. We keep getting better at what we do, but we never lose sight of what makes us unique. It's our hospitality, our people, our ability to just embrace the world with warmth, but also our no-nonsense approach, because I tell you, Antiguans don't take nonsense either. So it's that combination that makes us unique with who we are. And I think our guests saw that over the 2 weeks that they were with us. And we saw right after countries calling to say, can I book this property? May I book this property? We want this one. We even had reports of some of our delegations going to the hotel lobbies and saying, we're not moving until we
it's
secure
booked.
these 20 rooms for these people, because they didn't want the rooms to go. So it was really a special experience. And this morning as well, just to share really quickly, we had the third advance visit, which was virtually done. These are the countries who could not come in person.
Right.
And we had well over 100 persons on with our local team. And again, a fantastic presentation about what Antigua and Barbuda has to offer. But I want people to understand, CHOGM is not a fly around kind of thing. I know people are very skeptical about these international meetings you can find around the world and wasting time and what we get from that or what that's for. This is important, a time of great importance, important for so many reasons, some of which I shared earlier. I'm happy to share more about. But back over to you, Petra and Sly.
So you spoke about the advanced teams and their visits and the positive feedback that we've gotten. Are there any important elements that we, the people of Antigua and Barbuda, need to bear in mind as you and your team continue to prepare? Are there any milestones left that we need to accomplish as we continue the preparations?
I think a very good question. Everybody from the airport authority, which is going to be important when people enter the country, or immigration, or customs, our transportation systems, our infrastructure work, our hospital, our EMS, our NODS, APOA, AUA, the hotel sector, the creative industries sector. Everybody has a part to play, and I think that's what I think is most inspiring about these sorts of events. No one person can do it. There's no bragging rights for any one person, because any one person will fail. This requires a whole of government, a whole of country approach. And our task force, which is chaired by Minister Green, and of course the overall head of CHOGM, Prime Minister Brown, meets every 2 weeks. In fact, the task force meets again tomorrow. And we coordinate actions across all of these sectors. It's like a spider web that you weave these intersecting threads of ideas and responsibilities to create this fabric through which the whole structure can move. And this is how we literally are building it. I want to give a shout out to our two teams, Petra Williams and Anika Kentish, alongside Sharice George and Karen Cabral, who are leading on the volunteers and what we call the DLOs, delegation liaison officers. These are the people who are assigned to the delegations, assigned to the guests for the forums, etc. They'll be the ones at the airport, at the hotels, at the conference center, saying to people who are lost, this is the way you go.
Okay.
Saying to delegations who need to get a charger that can take 3 pins as opposed to 2 pins, this is how you get it. They're going to be important. And we've already identified and started to train these volunteers and DLOs. And I think there's still space for some, Petra. So if you and Sly want to volunteer to be delegation liaison officers and volunteers, there's still space for that. Sly, you're still young enough for that. So
I would love that. I'm only 49. I would love to do that. One question that is not bothering me, but I'm wondering in my mind here, accommodation. I mean, judging from your meetings and dialogues with the Airbnbs and the hotels and the motels, what are the feedbacks you're getting from them? Are they ready and set to go?
Yes. We've had several meetings with the Hotel Association, the Tourism Authority, Ministry of Tourism, met with the stakeholders, and yeah, they understand it. I remember saying to one hotel manager, you do realize that although you manage or even own a hotel, during CHOGM, if you're your hotel is one of the hotels where heads will stay, you will have to be search entering your own hotel. Just understanding, as you said earlier on, security requirements. There'll be no exceptions to it. And so, I think everyone gets it. I remember Minister Green making the point that the government actively sought out this newish area. We put some steroids in it to make it even bigger, but this area of conferences and events as a deliberate strategy to position Antigua and Barbuda as a fantastic space for these sorts of meetings, because there's a massive conference calendar around the world, and Antigua is so well located, easy to get to, safe, beautiful space, beautiful hotels, great food, wonderful people. Why not? And Patrice Simon, who heads up our accommodation team, supported by people like Shantia Weatherville on the small property side of things, They're doing an excellent job. When Patrice finishes presenting every time, I think if I want to go book one of the hotels, and then I remember actually I live in Antigua. No, so we have a fantastic team. I think again, as I said, when I'm privileged to work alongside our fellow Antiguans and Barbudans, I'm struck always at the incredible capacity of our people for excellence. And sometimes I said we beat ourselves up too much. We have some incredibly talented people on our island, if given a chance, can rise to global excellence. And I'm seeing that, not one or two people. I'm talking about right across the board, seeing some incredibly talented people working across CHOGM, across government, across the whole of society to deliver this on behalf of the Commonwealth, but of course for the bragging rights of our people and our country.
Yes. Now, as we wrap, and this, of course, we will have you back, Sly.
Of course.
We will. Yes, we'll have her back
Pleasure,
as we
yes.
go down the road. But among
Make sure you get the name right, Peter, and make sure when you just be next time you get my full name correct. What's my full name?
let me go again. It's Karen May Correlita Hill
Simon.
Hurst. Karen May Correlita Hill Simon Hurst. I have it. My apologies. I will not make that mistake again. But among our audience this morning, as we wrap, we have our diaspora, our Antiguans in the UK, in the US, in Canada, and so on. Is there anything that they can do to support this road to CHOGM 2026 in Antigua and Barbuda?
Excellent question again, Petra. We actually have a small delegation of diaspora here in the UK who have indicated to me that they actually plan to spend their own money, fly into Antigua, and to serve as volunteers. And I've actually said to the volunteer team, how can we undergo the training that they will need so that they can be there? So our diaspora are a big part of it. We want to encourage people to come home. It's going to be our 45th anniversary of independence as well. And I think one of the opportunities this program gives is for us to celebrate our uniquely Antiguan Barbudan way of being Antiguans and Barbudans. And you see that no more on the display than during independence. So we still have to make sure that is captured during CHOGM somehow.
Oh, okay.
We can't leave that out. Food fair, everything, and and Petley and the others will have to work on how we can make that happen. But we don't want to lose that. But we said to our diaspora, come home, celebrate the 45th, stay in your family's homes, don't book any hotels or guest houses.
Nice. It was
but come
strategically
home.
planned. Good.
There is one question.
Yes.
I know you answered this, but if you could please repeat, because it's been asked in my WhatsApp and on the on the station side. How does one get their property rented during CHOGM? Just to remind them.
So there's an accommodation team, and there's an accommodations email which I'll have to get to you. I think it's accommodations CHOGM 2026.
I'm going to look it up. Yes, go ahead.
I'll get it for you. But there's an accommodation thing. But I think the best thing every time is just contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and we'll direct you as to where to go. But we'd love to get more of the Airbnbs set up, because most of our delegates are youth delegates, for example. They're not going to have the budget as business forum people, for example.
Right.
So if we could try to get all of that, all of the properties possible registered. But I said to our diaspora, come to celebrate the 45th. Come with your ideas. We're looking at ways to have them work part of the volunteer corps, trained as part of the volunteer corps. And again, all I say to them is stay in your family's homes and don't take up any hotel rooms. That's all.
I understand. And for the taxis and so on, is there a central point that they need to register also?
That is being handled, the taxis, by Dion Simmons and his team at Transport Board. They're in charge of transportation.
Okay.
And I believe and I think they have been in touch with the Taxi Association and so on. So, for example, for the advanced visits, I know that we would have said to delegations coming in that we'll meet you, but getting to and from the airport is your responsibility. And what we did was organize the Taxi Association to be available to transport the delegates to and from the airport when on arrival and departure. So that contact with the Taxi Association is already in place.
All right. Well, we are going to wrap this, our first engagement, with High Commissioner Karen May Correlita Hill Simon.
By the way, the Correlita is Coralie.
Coralie. See, I'm going to make my yes, Coralie. And we're about to wrap this segment with her as we talk about the road to CHOGM. But we just want to give you an opportunity to share your parting thoughts with us as Antiguans and Barbudans and how we we know that there are the larger teams that are doing their work and making sure everything goes well. But for those of us who would be the ordinary man in the street, not directly involved, but still likely to run into delegations and persons visiting, what are you expecting from us?
I expect positivity, openness, a spirit of volunteerism. That when we see things needing to be done, we just do it. We find ways to enable, to support. If there are concerns, we raise them in a constructive way, and we pull all of ourselves together to make this happen. You know, we often say as small island developing states that a lot of decisions are taken around the world in rooms, in corridors of power where we're not centered around the table. The Commonwealth gives us a chance to be around the table because it is an extension of ourselves, that we are now part not just of a small Caribbean grouping or even a regional, sub-regional grouping. We are part of 55 other countries. And when the Commonwealth speaks on climate change, on financing for development, on the rights of women and girls, on all the areas that are important to us, importance of sports, importance of faith, etc., it speaks on behalf of all of us because we have a chance to shape that agenda. So I want to encourage everyone just to learn as much as they can about the Commonwealth. We are available. I am available. All of our teams to share with the media. There will be security exercises coming up. I know there was one last one everybody was complaining about because they didn't know about it. But there'll be more of these, and there will have to be some element of surprise with them as well as they do the simulations, and just encourage the public to work alongside us. At the end of the day, it's not about putting on a show for people coming and then they go. Everything that is done for CHOGM stays with us. The learnings that our people will have in developing their skills in event management, in sound engineering, in lighting, in stage production, even on the political side, drafting the communiques and the agenda, being volunteers and being trained in that space as DLOs, that stays with us. And so the benefits are not an event that comes and goes and is bound by that. These are long-living, everlasting benefits, if I could put it that way. So see it in that light, and I think if we do and we can embrace it in its fullness, we will see our Antigua and Barbuda continue to soar and rise like the phoenix.
Thank you so much. And as we wrap this, I just want to encourage as many of us, especially our young people, to join the volunteer corps. I'm sure it's not too late. This is an important, critical opportunity for us as a nation. And the volunteering, I normally tell my young people, look at it as a what's in it for me. Because in addition to serving at this level and contributing to putting your country in a very good space, it's also an opportunity for you for personal development, networking, and you never know where volunteer opportunities can take you.
True, yes.
Right? So,
True.
High Commissioner, Sly, you have any final words?
Well, I just want to thank you so very much. What a thrill every time I talk to my Karen Mayhew.
You get. I like that. I like that. I would encourage him.
That is only for the rhyme's sake, yeah.
So perhaps maybe next week or the week after, if not you can assist us with getting someone else, because we want to, WTP of course would want to do its part, and here on Sly J to ensure that we inform and alert our listening audience as to what's coming, how they can participate, and more importantly, how we, the people of Antigua and Barbuda, will benefit from being a part of this very important and exciting opportunity.
Once again, thank you, ma'am. A pleasure to have had you.
Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. Be safe and God bless.
Beautiful, beautiful.